Hey guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. Today we're going to be taking a look at some very interesting stories, including taxing internationally from the G20 summit. We're also going to be looking at a possible impending financial crash. And at the end of the video, we're going to look at some people that believe that crypto and Bitcoin will not only be a new commodity such as gold, but also may have the opportunity to take over the US dollar. So before we get any further though, make sure you are a subscriber to our channel. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and you're in the Bit Squad. This month for December, in the middle of the month, we're going to be doing 12 giveaways, but our main contest for the month, we're going to be giving away one ledger and also a Litecoin. So we're going to be doing that at the end of the month, but our main contest is going to be around the middle from about the 11th to the 24th. So you guys make sure to stay tuned for that. To get your maximum number of entries for all of our contests, as always, you got to be a subscriber. Make sure you comment and like on each video. And like I said, that gives you the maximum number of entries. So before we dive into today's video, which hopefully I'm going to try to make quick, I'm working right now on a security video where I'm going to be talking about the SIM card swapping hack. And let me tell you guys, I have been blown away by what I found. And I've really learned how naive I am and probably how naive you are when it comes to your security with your crypto. So I got a couple things I'm trying to get in order and make sure that all my stuff is very secure before I release that video. It's probably going to be later in the week, but let me tell you, that may be the most important video we ever do on this channel. So you guys make sure you stay tuned for that. If you guys have any crazy, SIM swapping hacking stories, make sure to share those in the comments so I can check those out. So looking at the markets, we're going to make this a quick video today. Market's 134 billion. Bitcoin dominance 53.6. Bitcoin's dipped a little bit. It had a little rise and then it dipped and then it went back up and now it has gone down just a little bit. So we're sitting right now at 41.42. I wouldn't be surprised if it closes around 4 or around 43 today. So anywhere in that range more than likely, but who knows, maybe I'm crazy. So, okay, there is a stellar fork scam that is currently being is happening right now. Supposedly, it's an airdrop for an XLM fork. You guys just make sure if you guys see this. I think it's called Stellar-Activity. I was once hit with an airdrop hack, and I got fished because of it. So you guys stay very vigilant when it comes to this. If any airdrop ever asks you for KYC, or if they ask you for your private key, or if they ask you for a signature on your MetaMask, then you can guarantee they're trying to steal your money. And then people are sharing this without even knowing that this is a possible scam. So you guys can check this out on Reddit if you just go to the Stellar subreddit. But just make sure you guys are being safe when it comes to airdrops. Don't fall for any stupid stuff. So these are some big stories from crypto this week, just kind of a highlight. NASDAQ launching BTC futures, Coinbase launched an OTC desk, Masari Crypto launched registry, Harbor launched first project, and Abu Dhabi Bank launched $500 million blockchain fund. So that was kind of just a highlight of some of the bigger stories of the week. We actually didn't talk about any of those stories on the channel. I think it just goes to show you guys how much news is actually going on, that we've got huge stories that aren't even really being reported on. So then we have the G20 summit. So it's 20 of the leaders from the biggest countries in the world all gathered in Buenos Aires. And one thing they've been talking about is cryptocurrency. And we know last year they also talked about cryptocurrency at the G20 and also the G8 summit. This year they're looking at international cryptocurrency tax. Now what people are doing is they're moving to other countries to avoid paying taxes on their crypto. Well, what this act would do, and they said it won't be finalized until 2020, is basically prevent people from using the current international tax laws to evade paying taxes on cryptocurrency. So if you think you're going to move to Malta and get out of paying your taxes, I would say think again. So you guys make sure that you stay up to date on the current tax information. I'm going to be doing a tax video. Maybe it would be better if I bring somebody on to interview them that's an expert. But that is something we're going to be doing on the channel in the future, because there are just so many questions about how you need to protect yourself from taxes when it comes to having massive gains. And then if you have losses, you got to figure out a way to offset those. And if you just have gains, then you're going to have to pay quite a bit. Another thing they said in this at the G20 summit is they're very let me get the quote. It said, the agreement also mentions money laundering is executed with cryptocurrency as an area of interest for the politicians. Yeah, I bet they're interested in that because there's no politicians out there that are money laundering. So found this, it talked about a hyper crash. It said researchers explain why up to a dozen or so years from now, we can expect a financial meltdown such as never before, and explain why you have the chance to save the world by reading this text. And then at the end, it's just like, well, since you read this, now you know, so maybe now it won't happen. It was like totally stupid. But basically, mathematicians have come up with this chart that shows that it is about time for a financial crisis that will make the dot-com bubble or Black Monday or the Lehman Brothers getting bailed out, all of that, or a crash. It'll make all that pale in comparison. So, just one thing the article also touched on was how cryptocurrencies could possibly be something that you could use to hedge against that. So, I'm not sure what cryptocurrencies will do in a global crisis. Hopefully they'll keep some value at least and be a better hedge than your current fiat dollars or whatever it might be. But just something to keep in mind. But I'll be honest with you, I've been seeing articles like this for 20 years, like there's a hyper global crisis coming. And they talk about it all the time, but it hasn't really happened yet. So I don't know if maybe, eventually the debt clock is going to catch up to us or whatever it is. But, just take this with a grain of salt. I'm not like trying to give some kind of impending doom. But, supposedly the math says one is coming in the next 12 years. So, okay. Very interesting story here about the ETF. So vaneck SolidX pushes for Bitcoin ETF approval in latest meeting with the SEC. Well, they went into this meeting and they're basically just trying to convince the SEC, let's go ahead and get this approved, let's move forward. And one of the things that they used as an argument to one of the main criticisms of the ETF, which is that they cannot control market manipulation. And basically what the vaneck SolidX guy said is that, well, yeah, but you guys approved freight futures, like futures on, international freight that gets shipped. And the market was exactly the same size as our market right now, which is so crazy. But the market is the same as the Bitcoin market or the crypto market. And you didn't make them, stop market manipulation or provide a plan for how they would prevent it. So, I'm not sure if that argument is going to really hold up, but it was interesting they gave that argument. The other thing that came out of this is that they were talking about the multifacetedness of Bitcoin, if you will. I don't know if that's a word, but I used it. In the company's latest presentation, executives tried to levy the SEC's concerns by suggesting Bitcoin is one of the few commodities that, along with silver and gold, can serve as a money substitute. Other commodities offered via ETFs, such as crude oil, do not fall into this category. So we've talked about before how there is kind of a battle between whether or not, there's two sides of the argument, whether Bitcoin is going to be a money substitute or is it going to be a commodity? So is it going to be something people spend or is it something that people hold on to? Which right now we know the HODL meme, right? Of course. And so I don't really know which one of these is going to be. However, in this article, basically what vaneck is saying is that it can be a commodity like gold, or it can be used as the money the money substitute. So it could really fall into either category, which is not it's not unprecedented. Gold and silver both fall into that same category, but it is very rare when it comes to, different asset classes around the world. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it will be more used as a commodity or it will be more used as a money substitute? I think if it's used as a money substitute, I think if it's used as a commodity, it can very easily pass gold, in my opinion. It's easier to buy. I wouldn't even know where to go buy gold. I'm sure there's places online you can buy it and stuff like that. But, and I don't know like how you hold on to gold bars, you keep it in a vault, whatever. I know security when it comes to cryptocurrency is something that we still have to continue to work on. But the barrier to entry, I think, is probably much lower than buying and holding on to gold. And then when we talk about the rarity, we talk about there's only 21 million ever going to be made. There's about 18.5 million right now. I think it's like 18.25, somewhere around there. And then a lot of those are lost. So the actual supply is very low and it is finite. So that makes it different than gold. Who knows? We could find some underwater cavern that has so much gold in it that it lowers the price of gold. You don't have that unexpected thing when it comes to Bitcoin. Of course, we have the volatility of the price, but we will always know how many there are, and it's super rare. Not even enough for every millionaire in the world to have one Bitcoin, which is totally crazy when you think about it. Then you took a look at the money substitute. The thing with gold is if you're going to use it as a money substitute, then you almost have to use kind of a ledger system, because you're not going to be able to chop up your gold and be like, oh, here's a quarter of my bar, take this for payment. But with cryptocurrency, you actually can do that. You can chop up a Bitcoin in many different ways, in Satoshis, goes 8 decimal places. So it's very easy to do that. So that's why I believe that as a commodity, Bitcoin is better than gold, but as a money substitute, it's also better than gold or silver. It's easier to transact. I don't know if the United States or some of the larger countries in the world will ever adopt Bitcoin as a money substitute. However, I believe eventually the majority of the countries in the world will actually do that. And if you watch a lot of my videos, I've given many other reasons why. One of the most solid reasons is in many countries, it costs them more money. The money itself, the paper, it costs more money to print it than the money is actually worth. So it's just an outdated system, makes no sense. Of course, digital currency is the future. Like, just use your brain, look at technology and where we're going. And it's very obvious that cryptocurrency is going to be something that's going to be around and is going to be the next evolution of money, in my opinion. So I think for all of those reasons, Bitcoin has the best chance to not only pass gold as a commodity, but also as a money substitute in the majority of the countries of the world. So you guys, let me know your thoughts on that. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you guys have any horror hack stories. I would love to hear those as well. Until next time, BitBoy out.